Hi guys, I just came from the boutique. It was opening of 24A collection, and I just want to share my thoughts with you. Please stay with me. Hi guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Oksana. Thank you very much for clicking on this video. I truly appreciate your support, and in fact, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to my channel, because like I pretty much do everything, or at least I try to do most of the reviews about the handbags, shoes, accessories, etc. if you like anything luxury. So please consider subscribing. Oh my goodness, it's just a very long intro. Anyway, I just came from the boutique. It was 24A launch day, and frankly I didn't plan to go, but then, you know, at last moment I kind of hopped into my car and I decided to go, because I've been kind of absent of Chanel game for a while, because I was so preoccupied and so consumed with my Hermes game that I kind of ignored Chanel, and boy oh boy, I've been missing a lot. Sorry guys, because now when I came to boutique, I feel so great. You know, it's been a while since I feel great inside the boutique and shopping inside the boutique, keeping in mind it's actually a launch day, so they're obviously more busier than the normal. But anyway, you know, usually with Chanel they don't allow you to film anything, but I have few pictures here and there, or like, you know, a little bit when they were serving me water. And as I said, it was so busy, but they still managed to serve me water, which is like really nice. I mean, like, nowadays when I'm going to Hermes, it's just like, you know, get me your credit card, slap on the machine, and way you go. And if you're asking for anything popular, just get out of the store. Anyway, long intro, and as I said, I have few scoops about some of the really popular handbags when I was chatting with my essay. And as I said, it's been a while since I saw my essay, and some of the things that I thought before more popular, now they're less popular, and vice versa. So, but because I saw the collection in a boutique, I just wanna kind of express my thoughts on some of the styles. I'm not gonna go over, like, you know, all the styles, because there is already several videos on the YouTube, but I'm gonna also include some of the pictures, the things that I either tried on, or if I didn't, then I include the regular pictures. So first and most, everybody talking about this season, they are bringing back we call it Kelly bag, and mostly it's on the website they call it size small, but it's really more of the mini, because the nano is really a tiny one. To me, it's more of the SLG. Funny enough, we all call this handbag Kelly bag. Apparently in boutique they call it nano. Because she goes like, oh, do you want nano? I'm like, no, I want small size. And she goes like, no, the nano style. I was like, what do you mean nano style? The Kelly hobo? She goes, no, it's you guys call it Kelly. We don't call it Kelly, we call it nano. So if you go to Chanel boutique and you want to ask for Kelly, they will know, you'll have no idea what you're talking about. You're supposed to say, I want nano bag. So that's the one. And yes, as expected, I'm assuming that it's all been already pre-sold before even launch day, because it's for VVIPs only right now, because it's extremely popular. And I understand why it's popular, because frankly, on the website there is only in the fabric available. It's kind of denim fabric. I like that fabric as well. So, but anyway, in that denim fabric, it's 5,975. So, and it's a handbag, and this is the price nowadays at the Chanel boutique for SLGs, like, you know, small leather good, a little bit bigger size. So it's really good price, so I understand why it's popular, and it's really cute looking, but it's really tiny. Even the small size, it's really tiny. So unfortunately it wasn't available for me to buy, especially because I said I want in the black. She goes, oh my goodness, it's so hard to get. It's literally reserved for VVVIP who like drop tons of money on ready to wear, etc. Or like you know, any neutral color. Sorry guys, I have allergies, eyes itchy. So, and I said any neutral color for that matter, but apparently no, but guys, stay tuned. I'm gonna include picture over here. I got 2 handbags this time. Please stay tuned for unboxing of those handbags, and I really love them. I think they're very gorgeous. So that was the Kelly bag. The next one, quite popular, it's another hobo bag. I think the first time they introduced, I think in year somewhere 22, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was year 22 or maybe even earlier, because I remember I was in 23 in Paris and I was trying to get that bag, and it wasn't available in black. They said there was the last one in red, and I said, okay, let me look at the red, and apparently somebody just snatched before me. Anyway, I'm talking about this bag. On the website it's shown in purple. The price of this handbag, as you know, everything is recently increased. I believe previously it was about 6,500 for the small size, but the small is more of the mini, like, you know, size. And right now it's 6,850. And that bag I tried, I'm gonna include picture. I tried in kind of like almost like kind of like a cactus red. I would say if it's Hermes colors, it's more of the cactus red. Really bright red color, beautiful. They had also in lavender. Apparently it was supposed to also come in the beige color, but I didn't see beige in the boutique. And in black, of course, black, you never could go wrong with black. It's absolutely classy. Try that bag finally for the first time after 2 years or even more since they launched. And by the way, guys, if any of you know the actual proper name of that handbag, please let me know, because, like, you know, on Chanel website it was always hobo whatever something, but if you know that name, what is the actual name, please let me know. And I remember it was ChanelLV, I think, channel, when it was the first time it was introduced or something, 23, I think, cruise, 23C cruise collection, if I'm not mistaken. And the way her is made, it looks like it's kind of like, you know, the chains go through those loops and they kind of attached on the top, and it's not adjustable. The ones that I tried, maybe because it's a kind of smaller size, it's the chain is just going like that. You can even put it on the shoulders, almost like doing double chains. Or it's kind of, oh, sorry, my glasses. Or it's kind of like, you know, if you pull it all the way up, it's more of the crossbody or long shoulders, but that little chain with the Chanel 5, almost like a charm, it's kind of sitting at the front of the bag, and I like that very much. So I really like that bag. I think it's very practical. I think on the website it says that it's glazed lambskin, but my essay says that it's calfskin, and if it's a calfskin, I'm like, you know, welcoming that bags anytime and any day. And let me just find the bag if I could. Oh, no, it actually says shiny crumpled calfskin. My apologies. So, and I know always calfskin is way more durable than the lambskin, so it's really nice options. And I would say, because even like say in my collection, mostly I have either classic double flap, though I have just the one. I have a bunch of different minis, square minis, rectangular minis. I have my 19, I have my DeVille. I have also some seasonals that very similar to Chanel 19, but I don't have anything like that in my collection, and I think this is the coolest style ever. It's definitely not a classic flap looking, but nowadays I noticed more and more styles of the hobo bags coming to Chanel, and not even to Chanel, or even Hermes or Louis Vuitton, you name it, obviously YSL, Prada, you name it. So many hobo style handbags. And this one also, it's kind of with the chunky chain, and there was a green, black, I think there was even kind of purplish one, if I'm not mistaken, reddish one as well. And this also season they had this kind of fuchsia color. It's kind of pinkish, dark pink, but it's really fuchsia. It's not even pink, it's kind of dark purplish pink, fuchsia color, 100%. Beautiful color, especially someone who really loves this kind of bright colors. It's 100% really good things to buy. Another things I kind of got information from the my essay, because I was sitting over there waiting for the pay, and there is this girl, she's kind of passing me, and she's literally kind of like almost turning around and looking at my lap, and I was like, almost did I spill something you know, on my lap? And then she goes like, oh, I'm looking at your bag, where did you get it? I was like, I got this 6 years ago, and I'm talking about my mini square. And when I spoke with my essay, funny enough, she says that mini square are in way higher demand right now comparing to even mini rectangulars style of the Chanel mini. So funny, isn't it? Because I remember a few years ago, because like, you know, of the larger phones, everybody wants that kind of rectangular mini. Now everybody after the Chanel square. See how it goes always in waves, and I'm absolutely positive in few years again everybody will be looking for the rectangular minis or something similar to rectangular minis. And overall, like, you know, the vibe of the boutique, as I said, I really miss Chanel. And deep inside, don't get me wrong, I love my Hermes bags. I'm glad that I got all those Hermes bags because they are classic. It's something that you pass through generations. Like, you know, they never gonna go out of style. But at the end of the day, they're so serious handbags, so serious. And that's what I said. When I see young girls there having, I don't know, Birkins, it's too much. It's supposed to be for the woman like me, you know, middle-aged 50-plus woman. That's how you see these handbags, or at least 40-plus or like 30-plus. Not a girl 19 years old wearing Birkin, but you know who I am to give suggestions. I'm just oldie who maybe doesn't understand the style. So anyway, there was a bunch of backpacks this season, and you know, when the backpacks, because it's not every season that Chanel bring in backpacks, but this season there was like, and they obviously in caviar. So when Chanel brings anything in caviar nowadays, it's extremely popular. And this time, once again, it was in black, kind of purplish, pinkish, brownish, something like that, and the burgundy again color. Still trying to get some handbag in burgundy color from the Hermes, oh sorry, from the Chanel. Jesus Christ, with this Hermes, like I cannot even let it go. Anyway, the lots of backpacks, and they were different sizes, the smaller one, the bigger one. It was and there is one backpack I really love. Technically it was a kind of SLG, but oh my goodness, it's big enough. It somehow reminds for me for the Louis Vuitton Palm Spring, but even a little bit smaller, more compact, but still it's like about the size of this not even square, I would say more of the rectangular one, little bit more roundish. Really good size, though it's considered to be SLG, but the really good size. Really love that backpack as well. Then there is this bag. I even asked a friend of mine, because my boutique didn't buy this bag, like, you know, if they have it. To me, it has like really old vibe, like, you know, old money vibe handbag. I really love it. And they were, as long as I know, they were made in green, purple, kind of like burnt orange, deep caramel, more of the burnt orange, like, you know, color, and the black one. Really love this bag. I think it's the coolest things ever. A little bit on the pricier side, because it's 78.75 in Canadian, plus, like, you know, we have zillions of, like, you know, 13% taxes, so it's really expensive for whatever it is, like, you know, for the seasonal handbag. There is this cute clutch with the kiss look of Chanel. I kind of also like it, especially if it's like, you know, you get it in black. It's always classy, you know, for any evening outing. Like, really, you can never go wrong with Chanel clutch, kind of like, you know, kiss lock on top. Always in style. There is also kind of bum bag. I personally never into the bum bags, but it's me, because I'm kind of on a shorter side. I'm just kind of 5'3", not even, like, but I always say that I'm 5'3", and because I have like a little bit heavier tops over here, so if I put also bum bag, it's like I look absolutely like a balloon on top. So I never really liked the bum bags, but on many other girls it looks absolutely fantastic. Each collection Hermes bring, oh Jesus Christ, oh Jesus, somebody shoot me in the head. For the last 2 years I was doing mostly my videos about Hermes, and right now anything I'm saying it's Hermes. Anyway, each season Chanel brings some special, like, unique handbags, and this season it's kind of like a guitar, really cool. There is also a sphere, kind of like really beautiful shiny sphere, and I really like the tea box. It gives that kind of old English vibe, because this whole collection is kind of like, you know, English vibe. Handstoos, this season they're bringing back tweed, or not even tweed only, the sequence also that looking like a handstoos. And there is this hobo bag. I'm absolutely positive there is some kind of mini in the handstoos. There is also I think there was a classic one again in the handstoos. Yeah, for sure. There is this also kind of almost like an evening looking bag. It's mini, but I like on the grommets, it's also almost like Chanel 19 inspired, those grommets. A beautiful handbag. If you don't want any like kind of like a sparkly and shiny for your evening bag, this could be, and especially if you're someone who is more edgy, this could be really great options. There was also a bunch of new style of the shoes. I think I took maybe just 1 or 2 pictures of the shoes, but as I said, I remember myself, I used to buy lots of Chanel shoes on sales when they had like twice a year sale. They just had one, and then they have it also in Christmas, just before Christmas. And I remember I was buying my Chanel shoes for with 40% discount at 600, 700. I even have some of the sneakers that I purchased. I believe it's 450. Are you kidding me right now? And I love some of the shoes, but anything I touch, it's like 1500. 2000 plus, and it's like a little bit too much that I want to spend right now on the shoes. so I kind of, you know, put them down. There was also cup that I tried. Maybe I include the picture if it's going to be available on the website, the ones that I tried. But again, I was assuming that it should be around, like, I don't know, $900 or something. It's $1,500 before taxes, but because there was a little bit sparkly of the CC and the lining inside also kind of like really cool pink, white and black, so I pass on that hat per se. As I said, I can buy, like, you know, simple black hat and put a Chanel brooch and it will work as good. So as I said, today it's not about review. I'm not here to do review of the 24A collection. There's lots of videos already about that, just showing all the styles. I just want to share my you know, my feeling and express how I feel today at the boutique. And frankly, it's been 4+5 years. The last time I shopped at Chanel, I think it was maybe 3 years ago, 3+ years ago. I forgot. And I really miss Chanel. I really miss Chanel. And deep inside, you know, all the aesthetics, I really love Chanel. As I said, for some time they were a little bit suffering with the quality, but this time when I was in the boutique, I actually I was checking the handbags and they in somewhat okay condition, like, you know, whatever I was checking, nothing wrong with the handbags. There was a one I thought there is something wrong, but it's just a little bit of the glue, and she was with the glove just kind of rubbing off, and the glue is got off immediately. So, and I realize right now how much I miss Chanel and how much I really want to go back to Chanel, because as much as I love my Hermes bags, but as I said, to me they feel sometimes so mature, and I mean, like, I'm a mature woman. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think of this you know, collection. Let me know what you think in general of Chanel. I know that for some time looks like Chanel popularity is somewhat declining, if I could say, but I don't know. I really feel that it's gonna go up again, because, like, I almost feel like, you know, with the Hermes, why Hermes before was popular, because it's, like, you know, so exclusive. You know, if you have that bag, you're almost like member of the club. But nowadays, if you drop enough cash, anybody, literally, maybe it looks like it's difficult, but realistically anybody can get the bag. You just have to wait a little bit longer, drop some cash, and you will get the bag. Though before it was like, oh my gosh, you have a Birkin, it means you're a member of the club, you're like really somewhat little bit up higher level. Nowadays, like, you know, I feel like Hermes losing that exclusivity, and once it start losing that exclusivity, you know, then why not go back to Chanel? At least it's fun. At least it's fun. So that's about it for today, guys. Please let me know what you think. Again, please stay tuned. I have two handbags unboxing coming. So that's about it for today, and I will see you on my next one. Bye bye.